If you were raised in the mid-1980s to mid-1990s, you probably had a Koosh ball or some other Koosh toy. However, what if I told you the Koosh ball was invented by a man that wanted to make physical activity more accessible to everyone, especially kids? That's right, this is the story of how one Californian nerd would create a toy that would not only become an instant hit, but would also take on sports, to some extent anyway, and in this case, nerds would win. Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to Macabre'Gorium Labs presents School of Boredom Quickies. My name is Bats, and I'll be your guide today as we pull the strings apart on today's lesson, Koosh, Nerds vs. Sports. Nerds win! Was 1986 and the problem was needing to teach your two young kids how to play catch. However, there is a problem. See, regular beanbags had too much weight and regular balls would prove to be too bouncy. This is the dilemma that Mr. Scott Stillinger would face. Luckily, the California man was an engineer and so quickly set to work on imagining a product he could make that would finally allow for a simpler game of catch. See, I told you. Nerds versus sports. Well, Scott's engineer brain told him right away that the answer was rubber. Rubber strings to be exact. But according to an interview with Scott, he said rubber filament. He would start with a box of rubber bands and eventually whittle it down to the thin rubber string ball design we all know today. Next would come the naming process, and through the process of elimination, the name would come from a list of over 200 possible names. A survey would reveal that the name Koosh was amongst the most appealing, and as an added bonus, this also replicates the sound it makes when thrown or caught. There's close to 2,000 strands or 300 feet of rubber string in each Koosh ball.
You always forget these facts, Bats. Did you know that Scott would end up showing a prototype to his friend, who just happened to work for Mattel, and both of their wives? The response was so strong that all four of them decided to quit their jobs and go into making Koosh as their own company.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I did, Goats. They called that company OddzOn Products. But little did they know what was going to happen next. At first, things were a little rocky with the pitching of this new toy. However, after some trial and error and some refining, it seemed like the higher-ups, like CEOs in suits, didn't get it, and therefore were not really interested. Proving once and for all that most business people don't know dog duty about humans, especially children. But in the end, this wouldn't mean anything, because as luck would have it, the people loved it. And they were really into it. This, of course, caught the attention of those previously mentioned clueless suits. They would go on to real production right away, and as a bonus fact, OddzOn Products would end up keeping their production location a total secret. By 1994, Koosh would spawn a bunch of Koosh-adjacent products, such as the original Koosh, the Koosh Fling Shot, the Koosh Flick Sticks, Koosh Hoops, Koosh Catchers, Koosh Sharp Shot, and the Koosh Paddle Playset. And that's how one nerd made sport-like activities accessible to almost anyone. Nerds for the win.
Bats?
Yes, Goat?
You forgot to mention the Kooshlings.
Ah, I did. So they did actually make one version of the Koosh that would, in my opinion, not really be as safe as the original or its playsets, and that would be the Koosh Kooshlings. These were just like regular Koosh balls, but with one slight difference: the addition of cartoonish heads, arms, and feet. The problem being that these features were made of a harder plastic, so they were meant to be used more like a collectible or action figure rather than a ball.
Speaking of being dangerous, not only did Rosie O'Donnell either raise or degrade the popularity of the toy, depending on your stance, but one time regular Koosh ball was said to have actually caused an injury.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. So at some point during the reign of the Rosie O'Donnell show, there actually was an incident where a woman in her late 60s to early 70s was hit in the mouth with a Koosh ball during one of Rosie's filmings. I guess it's worth noting that during her show, she would frequently fling Koosh balls into the audience. It was kinda her thing, and as far as we can tell, there was only the one incident. Now, based on what little research we've actually done on this one, most of the alleged damage caused by this incident was emotional, or I guess I could say trivial. I don't really know, and this lesson isn't about the lawsuit involved. But to summarize, the woman was embarrassed by the event, and that's about it. I guess we could cover it in the future in something like a school board and spotlight, but do you really care? As with any popular toy, this would not go without its share of copycats, and that's because it's really, really hard to copyright a toy ball. It's a ball. There are still Koosh toys in stores and online today, and many, many knockoffs in many, many styles you can find out in the wild. And with that, I suppose we've come to the end of another School of Boredom Quickie. My name is Bats, and I hope you had fun today unraveling today's lesson with Koosh, Nerds vs. Sports, Nerds for the win! Be sure to check back next time because you never know what we have in store. As usual, think for yourselves, be excellent to each other, and of course, keep it creepy, because we're always watching. Hey, thanks for checking out our video. If you enjoyed this one and would like to see more of our weird, creepy, odd, eccentric, or strange content as soon as it comes out, please feel free to click like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more. We'll see you later. Keep it creepy.